Now, given the fact we're in 2026 right now, a lot of people would have set a New Year's resolution in January. Maybe they want to get Christmas and New Year's out the way, and you thought to yourself, I'm going to try and get lean this year. I want to lose the body fat. I want to get the abs for the first time in my life, or get them back if you had them before. Either way, you set some goals to get leaner, bigger, stronger, to get in the best shape of your life so you can have the best year of your life, so you can feel good and like what you see in the mirror, right? What man doesn't want that? And let's be real, most men are going to set that as their New Year's resolution, or at least, in my opinion, I think they should set that as a New Year's resolution. But what often happens is about 95 to 97% of men will fail around this time of year. 6 weeks in, 7 weeks into the new year, and life starts to go back to normal, the motivation fades, things become more distracting, and you realize you're still the same person when you set those goals as you are now. Nothing's really changed apart from the fact you just had a point in the year where you said, hey, I want to achieve something special. You got to be thinking, why exactly do most men fall off around this time of year? What is it that they're missing to get that result in that year? How come some people seem to pull it off and some people don't? And I realize it comes down to a few things. I'm going to break them down for you right now. And if you genuinely give a crap about getting in shape this year, losing body fat and fixing the skinny fat physique and just having a physique that you're proud of that boosts your confidence, then I definitely recommend you watch the entirety of this video just to make sure you actually make those changes. And the first one is the most important one. People set the goal, but they don't set the plan. You might have said, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds this year. I want the belly gone. I want some abs. I want to go on the vacation or the wedding anniversary or whatever it may be and just look confident, take my shirt off on the beach and not worry about it. That's a great goal and it's pretty specific and clear, right? But how are you going to get there? Have you actually reversed engineered it? What is the exact strategy that if you times it by 20 weeks or 5 months, that's going to actually get you that result? It's very important to set a target and reverse engineer it. The majority of people that try and lose weight will just, cut out the crap. They go on the treadmills at the gym, they do a gym class, they go right back to the things that they tried and failed at last time. And doing the same thing, expecting different results, is literally the definition of insanity. That's why most people fall off, because they all try the same thing that didn't work last time and then wonder why they're not feeling motivated to stay on track when they already kind of know in the back of their mind it's not going to work. So I'll give you a tangible example. I knew around November time last year that around February time, March time this year, I'd probably go on a mini vacation just to get a bit of sunshine because I live in England and it's grey and gloomy. So I thought to myself, well, if I go on a bulk around Christmas, I'm just going to gain loads of body fat, and then by the time I got on that vacation, I'm not going to really like it. I'm going to want to keep my shirt on. I probably just wouldn't be where I want to be. And then of course, you get back and then a few months down the line, it's going to be then summertime, which means if I was bulking for at that time, I just wouldn't be in shape. I wouldn't feel very good. I would just mess up my goal, right? So because I knew that was coming, I thought, well, okay, I got like 6 months or so to get lean, to get shredded and be ready for that holiday. So I thought, well, how much weight do I need to lose? How much body fat do I need to come down? How am I going to do that in the time frame allocated? So I worked out how much I want to lose per week, about £1. I worked out my calorie target to make sure that happened, 500 calorie deficit. And then I worked out my workout routine that fit my schedule that I could progressively overload with. So realistically, I have about 2 hours spare per week. So I split that into 3 workouts, about 45 minutes, 35 minutes, give or take. And I just focus on heavy compound lifts and then focusing on getting my steps anytime I can. So I knew exactly what I was eating, how I was training, how I was going to progress, and how I was going to reach that deadline and hit those targets. And thankfully, it's working. I go away next week. I feel fantastic. I've made the progress I want to make, and I'm much more excited for the holiday, and I feel really confident and happy, and it's already been a great start to the year because of that, because I had a plan, not just the goal. So whatever your goal is, don't be vague. Don't go, oh, I just want to lose the belly. Cool. How are you going to lose the belly? Are you going to do cardio? Are you going to be in the gym? Are you training from home? Do you travel for work? Do you have to find a home workout? Don't let anyone on the internet say this is the only way, because everyone has different circumstances, different starting points, different genetics, different experience levels. You need to find a way that you can get there. Now, the second reason most people fall off is they lack accountability. And it kind of sounds wishy-washy and woo-woo, but when you set a goal yourself and then you don't feel like doing it, you can just not do it and no one knows. No one cares. Doesn't matter, right? There's no accountability, there's no embarrassment, there's no letdown, only to yourself. But when there's accountability, someone's going to be chasing you up saying, hey, how are you getting on with that result you're trying to work towards? Hey, have you lost those few pounds? How was your weekend? What are you doing this week to make sure you get to your goal? And it constantly reminds you, it constantly keeps you accountable to get it done. A really good way to explain and understand the power of accountability is the Chimp Paradox book. This book breaks down the complex human brain, breaks it down into 3 parts, but let's just use 2 parts for now. If you've read the book, you already know what I'm talking about. But basically, you've got the human brain, which is the logical side of the brain. Like I use the example of when your alarm goes off in the morning and you think, damn, I need to get out of bed. I need to go to the gym. The brain's like, yep, that's what we need to do. Cool, let's go and do it. But there's that little voice in the back of your mind going, oh, but I'm tired. Oh, 20 more minutes. Where's the snooze button? Oh, it's cold. I'll stay in my nice warm bed. That's the chimp. The chimp is the emotional side of the brain. Now, when you say, I want to lose weight, I'm going to go to the gym, the logical side of the brain's going, yeah, cool, that will make sense. That chimp in the background's going, oh, you're probably not going to go to the gym, mate. You know what you're like. Once you've had a heavy weekend of drinking, you're probably not going to be very motivated. let's be real, when you get home from work, you're going to be very tired. So the emotional side is kicking in. And when you have accountability, that chimp does not want to be embarrassed. That chimp doesn't want to fail because someone else is going to see it. So if you're remaining accountable to someone and you feel like skipping the gym, the logic side of the brain says, well, we're going to the gym because we said we're going to go to it. And the chimp would normally go, oh, you've had a long day. Give yourself, a rest day's fine, isn't it? But then when that chimp knows that someone's going to see it make that wrong choice, the chimp's like, oh, I want to have the day off, but I said I'm going to go and I don't want to be embarrassed. I'll just go. What it does is it starts to get your brain to do what you know needs to be done instead of procrastinating and avoiding it. Accountability genuinely is one of the biggest factors. Even The Rock has a coach for that reason. Any high-performing person or any person that's achieving something difficult, despite what their knowledge levels are like, they always have a coach purely for accountability. Now, the reason I know this to be true, these are the people that I've coached one-on-one to lose body fat and gain muscle in as little as 12 weeks up to 12 months. And a lot of these guys had been in the gym for several years. In fact, Ross actually been in the gym for 10 years and knew what to do, but he said he just kept letting himself off. He kept getting shiny object syndrome and jumping from program to program, and he ultimately just got stuck. He said, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And even at the time I was like, nah, it's a bit more complicated than that, mate. But he did it. We mapped it out, we held him accountable, he got it done. Same with Matt, lost his belly in 16 weeks, even with holidays and social occasions. Why? Because he had accountability. So accountability is a big missing piece for a lot of people. And when you look at the neuroscience behind it, it all makes sense. So get a friend, a family member, use social media, or hire a good coach to have that accountability. Because to be honest with you, if you've tried and failed on your own, that normally is the missing piece. It's not just about knowledge. Step 3, this is quite common, and this isn't always wrong, but you might relate to this. Doing too much at once. Some people will go from drinking beer on the weekends, having their takeaways, sitting on their butt after work, skipping the gym, and they go, right, I'm getting on it. And they try and do like a massive starvation diet. They try and go to the gym 7 days a week. They try and do everything under the sun. They do the ice bath, the high rocks, they do everything. They go all in, try and do it a lot at once, just because they're motivated and they think they can do it. And they're going from one end of the spectrum of being lazy and bad habits and unconditioned and unfit to suddenly expecting to be a pro athlete. And they try it a little bit. They might have a little bit of success for a couple of weeks because it's all new and it's easy going. But then as soon as they realize it's very difficult to sustain, especially around a busy lifestyle, they're doing too much at once, they talk themselves out of it. Oh, well, maybe I'll come back to this. I'll do it when I'm not busy. Or, oh, that was too difficult. I knew I couldn't get in shape. They kind of shoot themselves in the foot. Whereas it's better to meet yourself where you're at and take the next step. If you've not been to the gym before, slowly get your confidence and go there and do a bit of cardio or go in the machines. If you've not been able to stick to a diet before, maybe just pick a few things to cut down on. If your food isn't particularly healthy, maybe just swap one meal for one healthy meal. So instead of having a microwave curry, maybe have some chicken breast and some broccoli stems and some Nando sauce to make it a bit more exciting. It's got to be one step at a time. You have to build momentum. You can't just go from, I've never been in the gym before, to let me squat 200 kilos. You would warm up with the bar, you would work on your form, you'd work on your posture, then you'd add some weight, and then you'd build it up from there. And that way you actually start to enjoy the process, and you realize that the process is the exciting part of slowly getting close to your goals. So don't try and do too much at once. And if you're not sure what to do, if you're a little bit lost right now, I always recommend you just start by tracking your calories, because if you track it and you're way off, now you know what to fix. If you track it and you're spot on, then you know that the food isn't an issue. And it doesn't matter what diet you follow, keto, carnivore, fasting, vegan. I've had vegan clients. Here's one, very good job. It's not necessarily about the diet, it's the numbers total in the end of the day. So if you're not sure where to start there and keep it simple. And I guarantee that's like 80% of the progress right there. You get your food right and it's consistent and managed, you're going to get some progress. It's just a mathematical equation. It's not I hope it works or what about the microbiomes? Doesn't matter. Energy in, energy out. Laws of thermodynamics. So download that free nutritional blueprint so you can work out your numbers if you need it. And then last but not least, number 4, and accountability obviously helps this one, but number 4 is distractions. At New Year's, Christmas and New Year's and all the parties are out the way. No one's inviting you around for a big pot roast anymore. There's no barbecues because it's bloody cold. Nothing's happening. So there's no distractions. So it's quite easy to go, right, I'm going to get in shape. Let's get that diet. Let's get that training going. And then January's out the way, and a lot of people do quite well in January if they even get started in the first place, because some people procrastinate until February, but that's another topic. But then it gets to February, then it gets to March, and that's when people start socializing a bit more. That's when people actually have early holidays. That's when work gets a bit busy. That's when life starts to go back to quote unquote normal. And then distractions kick in. You get invited out for a few weekends. Everyone's, done being at home in doom and gloom cold, and they want to go out and do stuff. And then before you know it, summer's there, and you're like, well, how am I going to lose weight now, mate? I've got barbecues. It's such and such birthday. I'm going on holiday. Work's pretty full on. There's always going to be an excuse and a distraction if you look for it, which is why having a plan so you can work around those distractions and have accountability so you don't get distracted and you stay focused is the secret sauce. It's not going on YouTube going home workouts, best workouts to lose fat and drop abs, the one food that doctors don't want you to know about. This is all mental masturbation. Instead, figure out the basics, make sure it works for your schedule. Because if you said, Sam, you need to do a 7-day workout routine, I ain't got time for that. So guess what? I'd probably fail and fall off. But I have got time, and I have made time for 3 days per week. So I can stick to that, and guess what? It's working. And then find a way to remain accountable. Start an Instagram page and post daily of what you're doing, even if no one looks at it, because your little chimp's going to go, well, you better post on there, mate. You said you're going to do it. Or, like I said, hire a coach. And if you want to work with me, I don't want these videos to be salesy. I like to try and give value, but it is that time of year when people need some help. So if you want my help one-on-one, there is a call link below. If I can't help you, I won't work with you. But either way, you need to tackle these problems. Set the goal, but then reverse engineer it into a plan that actually works, so you have a bit of faith and confidence that it's going to work. Get accountable so you remain focused and don't keep skipping the days that you know you shouldn't skip. Don't try and do too much at once, one step at a time. Build the momentum to get the confidence. And ironically, that's when the motivation actually kicks in. And then remain focused and avoid those distractions. Once you've got the momentum, you don't want to get distracted anyway. Right now, I'll be honest with you, I've got a friend's birthday party tonight. It's normally a big food and drinks fest. Because I'm on track and I don't want to mess up, and I've got a holiday next week, I'm going to make good decisions. I'm going to track it all. I'm going to make it work. Whereas if I didn't have that focus, if I didn't have the momentum right now, if I didn't have a plan, I'd easily just go, oh, whatever, and then mess up. And then by the end of next year, I'd be like, what happened? Why didn't I get where I wanted to be? It's very easy to see why the majority of people fail their New Year's resolutions. So anyway, I hope this video kind of set off some light bulbs and gave you some good ideas to stick with. If you're specifically struggling with that skinny fat physique and you want to know what to do to fix it, watch this video over here. Like and subscribe, yeah.